The Lord is looking for a specific person. Psalms 14:2 says that God looks down from heaven on the sons of men to see if there are any who understand, any who seek God. The word seek and the word hunt have the same definition. God is looking for hunters after him and his son Jesus. What are you hunting for? The purpose of this Jesus Hunter podcast is to do our part in helping to make Jesus hunters and to share the stories of the true Jesus hunters who are making a difference for Jesus in their space. Are you a Jesus hunter? Now, let's join Pastor James and Schilly for this week's episode. Welcome to the Jesus Hunter podcast with Pastor James and Schilly. We are excited about this episode tonight, Schilly.
Oh, man, we got a great guest coming on later. And I had to tell you, I learned something in marketing today at work at Aspire Hospital.
I'm ready.
Did you know that the tablet has been around forever?
I did not know that.
Moses had the first tablet, and you know what? He connected it to the cloud, too. Hey, you learn something new every day.
Hey, that's actually a good one. I never realized that. I've been reading the Bible for 47 years, and I never even realized that.
Yeah, first tablet and connecting to the cloud.
Man, I haven't been paying attention reading that chapter, or I didn't pay attention in college, I guess. Got a Bible degree and don't even remember that. But hey, thanks for that information, Schilly.
No problem, brother. That's what I'm here for.
That's a great way to start out the episode. But yes, we're excited about this episode tonight. In a little bit, we have a very special guest coming on. As you all know, we love having true Jesus hunters on our podcast.
That's what it's all about.
Those who are seeking Jesus with all their hearts, and those who are letting God use them in their space. Yes. And we have a young man. I say young because he's
younger than us.
He's younger than us, but he's close to our age. You'll call him young, because we like to be young. But his name is Pastor Future, the one and only Jonathan Hall. He is a Christian rapper.
Yes,
he has an amazing testimony. He I don't want to ruin it all.
Nope.
But he's a rapper.
Yep.
He used to be.
Be careful.
Yeah, I won't say it.
You're going to ruin it. You're going to ruin it.
So I won't say it. But we have a treat.
Yes.
In interviewing Jonathan. So
man, I'm excited.
Yes.
I'm excited.
Yes, we're looking forward to that. And I think our listeners are really God's really going to speak to our listeners through his testimony. So
I feel that.
Yes. And so on our On the Road segment by Hunting the Truth Ministries, we always like to share on every podcast what our next event's going to be, our speaking event, where we're going to be next. And that's going to be, we're going to be at Boulder City Baptist Church in Lincolnton, North Carolina on November 7th and 8th, 2026.
Yes.
Pastor Chad and myself and Schilly, we're going to be traveling down there to North Carolina speaking at a Wild Game Dinner. So we're excited about that. The host is actually going to take us on our first dove hunt ever.
I cannot believe that we have not been on a dove hunt yet, but man, I'm excited.
Yeah.
They get those little chicken nuggets.
So they do it right down there.
Yes.
As far as dove hunting in the South, they actually grow fields just for doves. And
isn't that crazy? That's awesome, though.
Yeah. Well, see, us Michiganders, we don't understand that stuff because we don't really dove hunt. And, I mean, I might walk out my dad's backyard on the power line there and try to pick one off with a BB gun every once in a while. But other than that,
it's definitely when we were younger.
Yeah, when we were younger. Yeah. So, but yeah, we're excited. We're gonna get to hunt some doves, and we're gonna film it for the show. So we'll get to show everybody that as well coming up. So, Schilly, what's our next segment?
Well, this is the weekly hunting story brought to you by Twin Factor TV. You can go to twinfactortv.com and see all of our shows and all of our videos and everything on that website. So go and check that out. So I got the privilege to tell you a really awesome story that happened to me. So when I was younger, my dad, my entire family, my mom's side of the family, we would go up to Mayo, Michigan. and we would go hunting up there. And there wasn't very many deer up there, but it was fun. It was a great time. We get to hang out with my grandpa, my uncles, my dad, my cousin, one of my favorite people in the world. And so we were up hunting one time, and we were young, and my dad set us up on these little ridges that we had, and he says, "Hey, I'm gonna set your cousin a couple ridges over," and he said, "Just know that he's over that way." I said, "Okay, no problem. I'll watch that way." Well, it was just getting just about daylight, man. Right at that moment where you're like, "Oh boy, here we go. This is game time." You know that. If you're a hunter, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You start feeling like, okay, it's gonna be game time soon. So I start hearing this coming through the woods, and I'm like, "Oh boy, here comes a big boy. Here comes a big boy," right? And we had all orange on, so I'm looking over to my right where my cousin was supposed to be sitting, and here he come over the ridge, and I'm like, what's he doing? Like, I don't understand. This is prime time right now. And so I was a little upset. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was a little upset, and he come walking up to me, and he said, "Man, I didn't see nothing yet." I looked at him. I said, "Dude, it just got daylight. Like, what are you doing?" Well, I think what happened was he got a little scared because he was sitting the night before, and we heard some coyotes. And I'm telling you what, if you hear coyotes right at dark, you your hair stands up. You go trucking out of them woods. I'll tell you. Yeah. I've been there. Yep. So I don't know if that got him a little bit, but anyways, I said, "You know what? Just sit on the back of this tree. I'll look this way. You look that way." And a few minutes in, and all of a sudden I hear, I turn around and go, "What are you doing?" Here he is. He's eating a bunch of chips and crunching on chips and opening a pop. And I'm like, "Dude, we are not going to see anything." And all of a sudden, we're on state land. And all of a sudden I hear this guy go, "Would you guys be quiet?" And I'm thinking, are you kidding me? Like, this is... This guy's screaming. My cousin's got chips and pop, and I'm like, this just isn't gonna happen. So I said, "Well, let's go over a couple of ridges and see what see what's over there." And so we went over a couple of ridges, and we found this little cutout that somebody had made in the state land, and it was a nice little hunting shack, and in the ground made of sticks and a big hole dug out. I said, "Well, let's sit in here." And so me and my cousin sat down in there, and I said, "Anything on," we divided it, right? We divided it and said, "Anything on the right side is yours, and anything on the left side is mine." And there was a big tree that cut it right in half. And so we're sitting there, and I'm looking over to my left, and I'm watching my side, and I hear something coming on the right side. I'm like, "Oh man, there's something over there." And I can see my cousin. He's looking out. He's looking out to the right side of the blind, and I said, "Do you see it?" He didn't say nothing. I said, "Dude, there's a deer or something on your side. I can hear it." Well, come to find out, he was messing around in the leaves. He grabbed 2 sticks. And I'm telling you right now, as the Lord my witness, as soon as he took these 2 sticks and he put them on his head, and he said, "Look, I'm a deer." And as soon as those things hit his head, a shot rang out in the woods. He jumped out of that stand. He jumped out of that blind and went rolling down the hill screaming, "I'm shot, I'm shot." And I said, "Oh my goodness." And so I thought he was shot because the gunshot was so close. And what happened was it was the guy that we just left over the hill, the ridge, right? So he shot a deer. My cousin's rolling down the hill screaming he's shot. And I'm thinking, no way this is happening. So I army crawl all the way down to him. I'm waving my hat. "You shot my cousin. We're human, and I'm freaking out trying to get to my cousin." I get all the way down there, and as you can tell, because of us laughing, it was he he didn't get shot. So when he put those sticks on his head, he said he could feel he could feel the warmth in his orange suit, right? And it scared him so bad he let's just say he put a little biscuit in the oven, if you know what I mean. He grabbed his he grabbed himself and he thought he was shot because he felt the warmth. So he goes rolling down this hill, and so that's just the first part of the crazy story. So we get up and we're like, well, this hunt's over, and I'm upset, and I walk back to the truck, and we're sitting there, and my dad comes up and he says, was that you guys that shot? And I said, no. And I told him a story about what happened, and we get in the truck, and my dad's looking around, and he's like, what is that smell? And I said, well, let me just tell you, we need to get the washer and dryer going when we get home. Oh, dude, I'm telling you, I have never laughed so hard in my life. And I'm telling you, some of the stories that we have, and it's gonna be good. I think some of the stories that we have together are gonna be really good. But I just had to tell that. It was one of the funniest stories I've ever been a part of.
Well, it's actually a good hunt story because our bow season opens up tomorrow morning here in Michigan.
Yes.
So it kind of, not only do we get to laugh, but it kind of gets me pumped up for deer season, even though I'm not going to be able to hunt for a week. But
I know
that's okay. That's part of running the ministry and being busy. So, but yeah, that's a perfect hunting story. That's awesome. We have some really funny ones that we're going to tell on this podcast in the future.
Oh yes, 100%.
So there's many more to come, but we want to save a lot of time on this podcast to interview Pastor Future Jonathan Hall. So y'all stay tuned for our next segment, which is we're gonna have Pastor Future Jonathan Hall share his story with us.
Stick around.
The Jesus Hunter podcast team and Hunting the Truth Ministries are blessed to be partners with the following companies and organizations: Twin Factor TV, Be the Factor, Sad Daddy Hunting Blinds, Keep Warm, Keep Dry, Keep Hunting. Okay, all you Jesus Hunters, welcome back to the Jesus Hunter podcast with Pastor James and Schilly. We are excited to have our special guest here with us tonight, Pastor Future, the one, the only Jonathan Hall. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Pastor Future, I know it's great to have you back. I know that we've done a couple podcasts with you already. The Be the Factor podcast. We've been on the road doing some podcasts, so it's great to have you back. I know our listeners are going to really enjoy your testimony.
Oh, man. It's a good time.
Yeah, it is. We could sit here and tell some road stories.
Oh yeah, I got some good ones.
But that'll be another podcast.
Yes.
That'll be another podcast. We've had some good times on the road, and we've only known each other for what, a year?
A year. Yeah. It's so crazy. It's coming up on a year.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
A year in what? December? No.
Well, your brother, January
Chad.
9th.
January 1st for Chad.
What a way to start a year.
Right?
You know?
Meet some good people.
Wow.
Yeah, so it hasn't even been 9 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
Holy smokes.
Crazy, right?
Wow.
Chad's still waiting on his baby.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chad. Love you, buddy.
Yeah, Chad, when you listen to this, sorry, buddy. Sorry, buddy. Okay, Pastor Future, we have been anxious all day to ask you some questions.
I'm excited.
So we're going to start firing at you. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Here we go.
Okay.
I've been waiting for this all day long.
Yes. Okay. All right, brother. Would you share with us your testimony and how you became a Jesus hunter?
Absolutely. Where to start? That is the $1 million question. Becoming a Jesus hunter, I really thought about this all day. And I feel like this was like a birth thing ever since I was born. Mm-hmm. Like he brought me here to hunt him, but allowed me to veer off the path to experience all these things in my life, all the things that he didn't want me to know, to create that hunter. Yes. You know what I mean? Like I know all things not to do. And when I finally figured out, okay, I can no longer move forward and have a fulfilling, happy life without him, like literally lost everything. My job, my relationship, my car, my home, both my dogs died, lost all my money. Like, and this was all within a matter of months. Man. And, not to mention, I used to be 500 pounds, so I've lost a lot of weight. I've battled addictions, alcoholism, ups and downs with females.
Man, you've
everything.
been to that valley.
I'm telling you, I feel like he let me walk to the edge of that cliff many times, different directions, almost to where I was like, I put myself in like a living hell. It's what it kind of, when I look back, that's what it kind of seems like. And then he allowed me to make that choice. Well, I had choices all the other times. This last time was like, it's time for you to come home now. And then I had to turn myself back around and realize, like, I lost everything. And I just made a video about this today.
Yes, I've seen it.
In the moment that I didn't have anything, I lost everything. Suddenly, he comes back into my heart, back into my life. I choose him, and then I had everything. That peace that I was searching 20 years for, since my sister had passed away, and then all of a sudden all this trauma just melted from my body, and then he gave me new life, truly new life. And that's what blows my mind about bringing Jesus into your life. Don't wait as long as I did to bring Jesus into your life. It blows my mind every single time I think about it. And I still haven't even unlocked a lot of parts of my life. I'm still remembering things. Sometimes I'm like, was that me? Did that happen? Like, I was like, how am I alive today? But then I look back and I'm just like, wow. So I believe that he brought me here as a hunter already, but allowed me to make some pretty serious mistakes, just to put me in a place of humility and let my ego die and come back to him and be like, hey, you're my son, I'm your father, and you have this life over here. You can do this with me, or you can keep going down this route. And ultimately, I wouldn't be here today. I'd be dead. And especially when I met you guys, when it comes to the music, I was done with it. The testimony of music for me has been wild. I've done a lot of cool things, seen a lot of cool things, good, bad, great, ugly. And I had set music down because it was so toxic. And I was done with it. Then I met Chad and James Hampton, and they said, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
And I didn't know that's what it was going to turn into, getting back into the music. I always had the love for it. I loved to write, create, because it was a way that I coped with, my sister passing, my mental health, just things in general. And then when you guys brought me to Texas with you guys, and God literally showed me, he's like, here's two brothers that are equally amazing but super different. You know what I mean? And that's a whole different conversation in itself.
Right. I've been there.
But to put love, like that brotherly love, to you almost feel like that picture where Jesus put his hand through the water. I almost feel like that's how Chad and James were for me in that moment. They're like, God sent them to me. And all of a sudden I'm with them, I'm having fun, I'm living, and they don't know this, but there was moments where I was with them where I was so depressed, but I was learning about God. He was coming into my life, and I was just like shedding all these internal emotions, and they were showing me godly love. Awesome. It was pretty powerful for me. And all of a sudden I'm over here at this NRB, just God threw me back into it, and he's like, listen, follow me, and this is how your life is going to be.
They put you right into it.
Literally. And I had chased it for 20 years. And the minute I decided to set it down, God's like, no.
You ain't done yet.
Yeah. And it's been wild ever since.
Dude, I'm getting goosebumps, buddy.
Yeah. And even now, a year later, because everything was happening so fast, a year later, between dreams and things that happen and all these, it's all starting to make sense to me. And I was like, oh, okay, because we're on God's timing sometimes.
Yes.
I feel like I'm ready. Let's do it now.
Yes.
But I'm still learning, and that's the thing that I need to focus on. Keep learning. Let him handle the time frame, and he's equipped me with what I need to move forward now.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
speaking of your rap career, Schilly, I think that leads right into our next question.
Yes, it does. Share the story about your rap career. How did it start? How did it evolve? And then, it's turned into a God thing now.
Yeah. Well, how it started was, we'll get a little backstory. I grew up in a family of rockers, guitarists, rock music, drummers, and then there's me. I can't play the guitar.
Yeah,
I can play with the drums. I don't know if I'm good or not.
Right.
No one's ever said, "Hey,
can
you
hit 'em."
suck," you know. And I have a love for rock music, but I fell in love with rhyming.
I love it.
And it's an art form for me. It takes me places. But I picked up the pen the night my sister died. And it was, I didn't think it was going to turn into what it turned into. It was just a way for me to cope with my emotions and the things I was going through, losing my sister. And it started off as poetry, and I just kept rhyming, writing things. And then one day I got it in my mind, like, hey, maybe we should, try to make some music. So I was like, all right, let's do it.
So how old were you when that happened?
I was 19.
19.
Yep, my sister was 17.
Right out of high school?
I graduated when I was 17, so this was a couple years after.
Yep, okay.
Yep. She was just getting ready to graduate.
Okay.
It happened on April 1st, 2005, and she would have graduated in June. Yep. So they actually, they still gave her diploma.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That was kind of an emotional thing.
Yeah.
But, that's how I started rapping, and I was not good. Like I'm certain I know somebody has it. I don't know who has it, but somebody has my first song, and I want it because this is a huge part of the testimony. Like when somebody hears this, they're gonna be like, "No way, that's it." But the emotion, the raw emotion of that song. The song was called "Live to Die," and I don't remember how it goes. I feel like my mind has blanked it out, but I want to hear that again.
Yeah.
And I know somebody's got it. And when it does happen, I'm gonna listen to it, and
that's gonna be emotional.
Yeah, maybe work up the courage to just, look, this is where I started and this is where I am now, and people are gonna be like, yo, that's crazy.
So just a little background. I mean, was it rap with like the rap is now, like not Christian rap music where it's a lot of cussing, a lot of so it was, and now you turned it around
I was angry. I was very angry.
Yes.
It sent me on the I was upset at God for a long time, even when I was making the music, because I couldn't understand how he could take somebody that I loved, so young, and what it did, and it started. It was like the beginning of my destruction, but the beginning of my journey back to Him.
Yeah,
and that's pretty wild in itself, But the music, how it was then and how it is now, becoming Pastor Future, and I gotta throw this out there because I got to give flowers where flowers are due, because the name Pastor Future. All right, so the girl that I was with, her name's Allie. She was, this was about a year ago. So we had split, and I'm on in this journey, this transition. God's coming into my life, and she's kind of on the same journey. And we were talking one day, and she texted me. She goes, "I know what your new name should be." And I was like, in that moment, I was like, oh, this should be good. Because she's very deep. You never know what she was going to say. And I was like, oh boy. But when she sent it to me, she said, Pastor Future, meaning past or future. Or pastor future. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. But how it made my body feel was like, I was like, the Holy Spirit worked through her.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden it was like he birthed this new man, a new direction for me to take, and almost like everything from my past no longer mattered anymore. That was just a season, And then when I accepted the gift of what she gave me, and I started to move forward, everything started to come together. So I got to give flowers to her for that, because she is a tremendous part of that part of that testimony, and because God worked through her to assist me, and
that's awesome.
And it's pretty wild.
So
that is wild.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
I mean, Man, we're just getting into it here. It's just crazy. I mean, we're already a couple minutes in, but I mean, wow, what a story, what a life, man. Well, I'm a huge rap guy. Some of the stuff, you know, when I was a kid, obviously I was listening to that I probably shouldn't have been listening to, but you know,
us in high school,
yes,
in sports.
I had a '74 Gran Torino, and that thing was thumping 12 inches.
Nice.
So, so I've always loved rap, but you know what, like. Nowadays, rap music's huge, and it's affecting the youth, I think, nowadays. And I love it because, you know, as if I was a kid now, like young right now, I would love to hear Christian rap music.
Yeah.
So, let's get into that. Like, it is affecting the youth today, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. You know, whether it's secular rap or even Christian rap, because there's so many different views, different angles you can take. But, you know, we come from eras of rap where it was like they considered we are the bosses, the dealers, you know, and then current rap is like everybody seems to be on pills or, you know, some sort of substance. And then, you know, it just, things have gotten crazy.
The ladies, the weapons.
Everything that, you know, leads you to a dark part of your life, you know, self-destruction in a sense. And then with the Christian rap, you know, there's so much of it, and I can't even lie to you. I didn't know how much of it there was.
I know, me neither.
And even now, I'm starting to hear people. I'm like, these people are incredible. I was like, I quit.
Yeah.
I was like, these guys are so good. And I'm like, I was like, how do you step in the ring with them? But then I remember we're all working for the same person, and that ring is like the more of us in that ring, the more we could take out. I was like, all right, you know, let's do it. But it's incredible. So for the youth to be, and I notice now too that Christian music is everywhere.
Dude, it's in the top 100, top 10, top 5.
Yeah.
What's the young guy that the young guy man, what's his name? He's in the top like 2 right now in the billboards. Forrest.
Oh yeah.
Is it Forrest Frank?
Frank?
Oh yeah.
Forrest Frank.
Yeah. He's in the top like 2 or 3 right now in the top billboards.
Insanity.
That's insane, right?
Yeah.
A Christian singer. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's crazy. You know what opened my eyes to all these different rappers, Christian rappers, is TikTok. When I got on TikTok and I started going through and listening to all these different Christian rappers, it's like country rap, this kind of, you know, different, almost different genres of rap.
There's that one song you sent me, Jimmy Soul.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah. I still listen to that song. Like it gets me hyped.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I declare war.
Yeah, I love that song. You know.
Yeah,
and,
that's awesome.
You know, I don't know, man. Making the transition into the music now, I'm having so much fun with it.
Yeah, man.
You know, I fell back in love with the arts of it, the writing, and then knowing that, you know, God is working through me, and I feel so good about I can release this music and know that I'm not handing somebody a loaded weapon.
Yes.
You know, I'm equipping them with like, yo, look, this guy has a real testimony, been through some wild stuff, and and it reflects in his music, and it was never me. I never got through those things by myself. You know, when I finally realized that, you know, that's when it all started to change.
Tell us about the first 2 songs that you've released here in the last 2 months.
Yeah. Crazy.
Tell us about those.
Garbage. No.
I didn't think so.
No, I'm just playing.
I didn't either.
No, it was so when we met, you know, I started on the journey and I started creating, and I was kind of like going back and forth with, you know, am I ready to step back into the studio, get back in the ring in sense? So I started creating, and the first song was like it's called I'm Sorry, and it was actually written towards the girl that gave me the name.
Oh, wow.
My perspective, because what I was going through, and it's a pretty decent record. If you pay attention, there's a lot of depth there, but also Jesus having his part in the growth of both of us. And at the end of it, I'm like, yeah, right. You know, this is about us separating. We got to go separate ways. You know, God's doing what He's doing. Yeah, right. I'll see you later. And so that kind of, you know, stepped forward with it, and I released Chosen, and actually that same girl named the song. And which is crazy to me. I was like, I don't know how she plays into my life because we don't currently conversate. We're not, I wish her well and, thank you for the time. Right. Thank you, God. But she was a really big part of some of these steps forward. And the song Chosen came about, and I just started rapping, I just kept on rapping, Forrest Gump started running, I'd put the headphones on, I was like, God, and I started praying. That was another thing. I never used to pray before I would write. But I was like, Father, use me. Whatever needs to come out, I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to let it flow out the way it does.
That's amazing.
Then all of a sudden, I'm rapping again. I was like, oh, man, I felt like Floyd Mayweather in a sense. Like, I'm putting the gloves back on. I'm Mike Tyson without the lisp,
Yeah.
And things are getting serious.
Tyson, I didn't say that.
Yeah, no, I love it, brother.
Please come on our podcast.
Yeah, right. We'll take you on the podcast.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But it was wild,
The Jesus Hunter podcast team and Hunting the Truth Ministries are blessed to be partners with the following companies and organizations: Twin Factor TV, Be the Factor, Sad Daddy Hunting Blinds, Keep Warm, Keep Dry, Keep Hunting, Storm and Norman Custom Calls, Storm in the Wild, Keys Southern Spice, Hunter Nation, IXL Hydration Drink. Think, drink, excel.